A lot to talk about in weather. This is a look at the Morro Bay camera earlier with the rain coming down across the area. There's a lot to dive into here, so let's get started by talking about what we're dealing with. The storm system is starting to make its way into the area, but this is not the storm itself, at least in terms of the major impact. This is all light rain thus far. Don't let this fool you. The fact that we don't have the strong winds yet or the heavier rainfall. This is still developing, and by the time we get into Sunday morning, it's going to be a completely different picture. Again, we're just on the leading edge. This is really the system way out here, well off the California coastline. This is an atmospheric river, meaning it's a low-level stream of air that is just chock full of moisture to squeeze on, and it is slamming into the California coastline. You'll note that we are in the high risk of flooding from this storm. Now, this is an upgrade from the Weather Prediction Center. This is a 40 to 70% bullseye right here for the South Coast into Ventura County, surrounded by the moderate risk, which is 40+% opportunity to see some flooding with this because of the rainfall potential we're talking about. So as a result, you can see most of coastal California is covered in a flood watch from Southern California all the way north of the Bay Area, including the Central Coast here. So let's take a look at what the modeling shows us here. We'll see on and off showers here all the way into the midnight hour, but really it's going to be beyond that, toward tomorrow morning when the rainfall picks up, when the winds pick up later on tonight. The combination of the two could be very problematic for the area. Rainfall rates ½ an inch per hour, at times up to an inch per hour. Thunderstorms are possible as well, and this is an atmospheric river. On a scale of 1 to 5, this is a 3. Earlier this week we had a 1. If you recall, last year, January 9th, was a 3. So this is a lot of rainfall potential here. We'll get a break later on Sunday into early Monday. Not a full break, but just more off than on. But then invigorating again as we get into Monday afternoon. So a lot of opportunity there. Here you can see the wind situation. Winds picking up as we get into the midnight hour on Sunday. And then really strong here. This is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. where the gusts could be 50 to 60 miles per hour. And that's just on the modeling. That means some isolated gusts could get close to 70 and 80 miles per hour. Can't even rule out 90, which is crazy. That's a gust that is the kind of energy that a hurricane can land with. So this is a lot of wind here. So the wind warning, not going to surprise you here at all. It's 35 to 55, and again with those damaging huge wind gust potentials in there. So the forecast is generally 1 inch to 6 inches of rain. There are going to be some places with a little less. There's going to be places with more. Really worried about the Santa Barbara County Mountains and South Coast because a lot of the southerly wind is going to run right into that west to east Santa Ynez Mountains, and that's going to cause a lot of that water to be wrung out. So over the 3-day, the Weather Prediction Center is going 4 to 7 in Santa Barbara County. We could easily see 10 inches or more in some of the mountains. In San Luis Obispo County, not as bad. The interior basically closer to 1 inch, and parts of the north coast closer to 5 inches. Coastal flood advisory from a surge that could be greater than 6 feet tomorrow morning, plus south winds, plus waves of 10 to 20 feet. Storm Prediction Center says thunderstorms are a thing to think about for the next couple of days. And again, it's all from this atmospheric river right in here. You can see the connection is from south of the Hawaiian Islands into the central and south coast. And that river is going to be running from south to north against some of the hills. So we also have a high surf advisory, 14 to 18 feet, local sets to 20, and 8 to 12 feet in the channel and for the south coast. Southern California is also going to get nailed, so in terms of travel here, Sunday, Monday, not a good idea. 7-day community cast. You can see the temperatures remain in the 50s. There's plenty of rain opportunity through Tuesday. There's another system on Thursday, but it's a little lower in terms of the confidence right now. Personally, I'd probably put that back in. I do think there's a fairly decent chance of a soaker on Thursday as well, not like the one we're seeing right now. Again, complicated forecast. We break it down for you at ksby.com.